Greetings, everyone. Today is October the 8th. It is Wednesday, halfway through the week. And let's take a look at what's happening today. The market looks like it is recovering from that awful red day yesterday. So right now, of course, I am not a financial advisor. I'm still not a financial advisor. So anything I say is for educational purposes only, is not meant as a recommendation to buy or sell anything. Nobody knows what the market's going to do, including me. So let's take first off just an announcement. I am going to do a Zoom meeting for subscribers this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So anyone that is a subscriber currently, I usually try to do these about every 6 weeks. This is the only time I'll be able to do it, probably till sometime in mid to late November. So that's why I'm going to try to get it in this Saturday. So any subscribers, if you're interested, it usually goes for quite a while. It is very interactive. We pretty much talk about anything you want to talk about. We'll look at charts, we'll look at stocks, we'll look at anything, basically. Just come here for subscribers, click on this little box right here, and it will take you to the webinars and videos page. And then you click right here and it will be the Zoom link. So you need to be a subscriber to get to this page, but just click right there and it will take you to the Zoom link on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And by the way, it is recorded. So right here on the webinars and videos page, you can see here's the last one I did was in the end of August. This was 3 hours long. Here's 3.5 hours, 2 hours. So these will go as long as people want to stay on, as long as you want to ask questions and talk about the market and explore things. I'm willing to stay on. And then I record it and I'll put it right here for subscribers so you can listen to it later. If nobody shows up, then there won't be any questions and I'll be talking to myself, I guess. And then it will be a much shorter time frame. So anyway, if you're interested for subscribers, just go there. Let's take a look at what the market's doing today. It is currently about 11:20 a.m. on the East Coast. So the market's been open for about almost 2 hours. Let's take a look at the 10-minute charts and see what's going on. Here's the S&P. Here's the big sell-off yesterday, and we're almost all the way back to the high from where we started yesterday. And we are pretty much above the open for the week. So market is recovering nicely. Money flow is coming in. You can see technology is carrying the day again. Discretionary and communications, these are all the aggressive sectors. They are actually lagging today. So once again, it's technology. Technology is the key. That's where everything's going to. If we look at the defensive sectors, they're either flat, utilities are flat, or they're heading down. So rotation is into technology, and the cyclical sectors are pretty much flat. Healthcare, industrials is up slightly, materials up a little bit. Those are all pretty much flat. This is the rotation. So growth versus value had a nice little bump today, or in the morning, pull back a little bit, but not significantly. It's not really rolling over yet, so we could actually take out the previous 2 days highs. Discretionary is pretty much flat, but there you see technology and semiconductors are the two that are really leading everything right now. And breadth actually still kind of weak, still sitting right on moving average. The percentage above the 20-day, 54%, 57%, almost 58% above the 50, 66 above the 200. Bullish percent, the percentage of stocks in the S&P that have bullish configurations is actually declining. So that illustrates that it is really just those big mega cap names that are driving the market higher. Even the Russell 2000 is not performing as well as the S&P right now. So money flow is coming in, but it's kind of weak. You can see that it's outperforming slightly the S&P this morning, but over the last few days, it's still underperforming. So not too much happening there. Here's the breadth for mid caps and for small caps. Just look at the percentage of stocks above their 20 and 50 And the NASDAQ 100, same thing, sold off yesterday, just flattened out basically right around noon and did not go anywhere the rest of the day. And today started to take off again. So we moved up. Now we're moving sideways, so consolidating. According to consolidation theory, the distance after this consolidation likely to break out in the same direction. So the distance will be the same amount to the upside, and that will put it at a new high if we break out. And look at the VIX. VIX is really dropping off a cliff right now this morning. So everything is very bullish today. There's the breath for the NASDAQ 100. Above the 20 and 50 are moving up. The 200 is still moving down, and bullish percent is moving down a little bit. So sitting right here, just kind of treading water, I'd say, more than anything else. Market's not really moving significantly one way or the other. If we go to the home page, you can see right up here, there's a little stoplight. Stoplight will tell you the strength of the trend. And you can see up here, we're pretty much flat from 2 days ago. It's a strong uptrend and now starting to move back up again. So the trend actually still looks really good right now. Still very bullish. If we look at this, it's actually got a red or a blue bar yesterday, but it's back to green today. So that is looking bullish as well. So the market continues to go higher. Interestingly, if we go to the market bias page and I'll look at the individual indexes, the S&P, there's the pullback right to the 8-day. So it looks like it's not even pulling back to the 21 anymore. It's barely even moving. Any little downtrend, people are jumping in. So buy the dippers are jumping in right there at the 8-day instead of the 21. We'll see if that continues, but right now looks extremely bullish. You can see where the flip line is down here. It's below the 21. So the expected move, this is as of last Friday. This is for options expiration, which is a week from this Friday, the 17th. So there's the expected move right up there. So it's sitting a little bit above the midpoint. And down here, you can see the VIX. The VIX had a big run up yesterday, but now pulling back again. And once again, below 17. Same thing for the NASDAQ 100. The flip line is way down here. So it's just getting ready to break out. In fact, it may be breaking out. Right now, the high right now is 25,040. 2 days ago it was 25,044. So 4 points away from making an all new high, intraday high, once again. And then we'll look at the Russell, which is more interesting because the flip line actually is right at the price, right where the price is. So price went below it yesterday. Again, just went right down to the 8-day and starting to bounce back up. So everything continues to be extremely bullish today. Bitcoin, of course, we want to look at. Bitcoin, big sell-off yesterday, but again, right down to the 8-day moving average and now bouncing off of that and moving higher. So this market just will not go down, refuses to go down. Couple of stocks that actually, let's first look at the we'll look at one scan today. This is the bullish scan above the 21-day with a green bar. And we've got 20 stocks in here. Broadcom, you'll notice a lot of the large cap names will be in here. CLS is in here, moving up. Just look at the candle over here. These are not quite breaking out, but they're recovering and bouncing off the 21 with a green bar over here. CrowdStrike moving higher. Comfort Systems. Nice. Look at that uptrend. This has been in the top 10 list over and over again. GE Vernova. Still in a downtrend. So it needs to break out of this downtrend line right here. But nice hammer candle today. So it's starting to move up. What else we got? Qualcomm moving higher. Rubrik. Big sell-off on Rubrik. It's right above the 21, but it's still below the 50. So I'm not too impressed with Rubrik other than the momentum seems to be moving up. Had a very short squeeze right here, and now it is above zero. So momentum might be coming back in. VST, Vistra Energy, that's a pretty choppy chart. So Wouldn't know what to do with that one. It is in a squeeze right now. And then Zeta Holdings going back up, maybe break out of the recent highs up here at about 22. Really nice candle today. Had a sell off in the morning, but recovering nicely. And momentum is just turning up. So it's just going above zero, which puts it back in an uptrend. And the ADX line is the green is above the red, which it has been through this whole trend right here. So this could easily get back up here to 23, could make a new high, actually. So that's what that one looks like. Let me take a look at the dashboard real quick. Here's the S&P. You can just see it just at a glance. Here's the S&P, the Russell 2000, and Bitcoin side by side. So the S&P getting ready to make a new high again, Russell trying to catch up, and Bitcoin after the big sell-off is bouncing back a little bit today. So that's what those look like. Here's these are the stocks that have sold off. So these are in the top 10 list. So IREN has been in all three lists. Here's a quantum. I want to talk about quantum here in a second. Here's another quantum stock, INQ. Here's MP, which had a really nice run, MP Materials. This one here was in number one position in the IBD list last week. Big, huge candle, and then it's just moving sideways right now. Fubo selling off, Open just consolidating a little bit. Carvana up here is definitely selling off for Carvana. Cipher Mining, this is one that somebody wanted me to look at, and we'll look at that in a second. It's had a really nice run. Mining company. App 11 also starting to move down. So that's what those look like. All right, let's take a look at a couple of stocks. First off, I'll do Cipher since we just talked about that. This is an asset manager stock. It is a mining stock. It's just been moving up. I think using Bitcoin, or I'm not exactly sure what they do. We'll have to look it up, but I think they're probably trying to follow MicroStrategy's lead. And right now it's near the highs, pulling back slightly, but overall momentum is above zero. It looks like a very bullish chart in general. Just coming off of the extreme level, could pull back here to 13. If it does, probably a good entry point, but it looks to me like it's just going to continue to move higher. That's what it looks like. Nice upward trending chart. All right, the next one is LTRX. By the way, that's a $15 stock. This is a $5 stock. So it's also had a beautiful move, moves up, consolidates up right at the 200-day, consolidates sideways, broke out. So breaking out above the 21 right here. That is the setup. That's the setup I like to look for. Breaking above the 21, follows the 8 all the way up, pulls back to the 21, broke out again. So continuing to move higher. Right now it's consolidating a little bit, so it might come back to the 21 again, but then it might continue to go up. So it's basically been a double since June. June it was back here below 250. So 1, 2, 3, 4 months, you've got a double, 100% return. Pretty nice on that one. That is telecom equipment. All right, let me show you something that I did yesterday, looking at some quantum stocks, which have been on a tear. And I was just curious because I heard something yesterday that said, I think it was this one, QBTS. They said revenues are 8.8 million, but the market cap is 12 billion, I'm sorry, 12 billion market cap. So I did a revenue to market cap ratio right here. And you can see 0.07% is the revenue to market cap. Is that justified? Well, it seems to be a little bit overvalued to me. There's the stock price, $35. These are in order of, let's see, let me do a sort and do it in order of ratio. Largest to smallest. There we go. So INQ is the highest revenue to market cap ratio. It's also got the highest price. which makes sense, right? But revenues, $43 billion in revenues, $43 million in revenue, $25 billion market cap. Rigetti, almost $11 billion, 11 million, sorry, I keep making that billion mistake because I keep thinking this needs to be a billion for that kind of market cap, but revenues are almost $11 million, market cap of 14 billion, 0.07 is the ratio. Stock price is $43. So that gives you a sense. I just added as SMCI in here because it's kind of in the same space, not necessarily quantum per se, but it is hardware, computer hardware in that industry group. So you can see here they have revenues of 21 billion, and they have a market cap of 32 billion. That seems more reasonable. That is a ratio of 67%. That seems like a more reasonable ratio. Look what these quantum stocks are doing. So you can decide if they're overvalued and overbought for yourself. This is certainly a momentum play, and at some point that will end. But these are the kind of meme stocks that everybody is jumping on, regardless of the fundamentals. So it's interesting. I just did that little exercise just to see what it would look like. I also put a chart together that shows you what they've done in the last year. So here's just, these are all performance. They all start at 0 1 year ago. You can see Rigetti way up here, Qubits, QUBT, INQ, and SMCI way down here. So SMCI just pretty much flatlining. IonQ pulled back and then started to move higher. And right about here in May, June timeframe, they had a big spike back here in December. They all pulled back and then they started spiking again. So will they pull back like they did back here? Who knows? But I just wanted to point that out, that these quantum computing stocks, while they look great, they seem to be pretty overvalued, in my opinion. Doesn't mean they can't go higher. They can certainly go higher. Overvalued stocks go higher all the time. But at some point, that will end. So let me, let's see here. I'm going to look at each of these. Just look at a chart of each one. There's the first one. That's what it looks like. So you can look back. This is a 1 year chart. IonQ. Here's the big run up here lately in September. Went from basically 42 up to 80. So pretty much a double. Rigetti continuing to go higher, almost parabolic. Qubits also moving higher, starting to become parabolic. And QUBT, that one is a little bit more reasonable. So it's sitting down here near its 21 day. But all of these stocks could very easily have a huge sell-off. They could continue to go higher too. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what they're going to do. But that's what they look like. This is a weekly. I'll go backwards now. QBTS. That's a weekly. So way back here, you can see this is November. This is about a year ago. A dollar stock, a $1 stock 1 year ago. And today it's a $36 stock. You tell me based on the revenues and the market cap, you tell me if you think it's overvalued. RGTI. So back here in October a year ago, it was, that's the one I just looked at, I think. $1 up here is $45. QBTS. Nope, I think that's the same one. So it looks like the same. Yep, $1. So these are were all $1 stocks a year ago. IonQ, 1 year ago, it was about a $10 stock. And now it's a $80 stock. So there's an 8-bagger in 1 year. What else? I think that's it. SMCI, we'll just look at that. SMCI has had other issues, but you see it's actually gone down in the last year. Trying to recover, but at any rate, just wanted to point that out. Looks like those quantum stocks, be careful if you're in them. Certainly it could continue higher. Would I get into them right now? If you were to, let's look at Rigetti. Sorry, let's look at it this way. Rigetti looks like it's way overbought. And it has a spinning top and a shooting star candle. So maybe get in at the 21. If the market continues to go higher, that might bounce and go back up. Or right down here where it hit the 8-day, maybe even the 8-day, if you want to try it out, test it out, but keep your stops close. Trail your stops as it goes up, because at some point this is all going to end, and it's not going to end well, just based on the fundamentals of these companies. Just my opinion, of course, not a recommendation to buy or sell anything. It's up to you to make that decision. Let's go back to my 10-minute and see what's happening right now. It's currently 11:42, so we've been on for about 20 minutes. There's the NASDAQ continuing to go higher. Here's Russell 2000 continuing higher, and S&P continuing higher. So everything continues to be bullish. Looks like we're going to take out the previous highs. So we might be at all new highs once again today, and we're continuing the journey to 7,000. It's 250 points away right now. I think it's going to definitely hit there. Could be before the end of the year. We could be over 7,000 by December. So we'll see. All right. Stay safe, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Let me know if there's anything you would like for me to look at. Thanks. Take care.